Chapter 62, Giant Size. From the crow's nest, Bertie shouted out, "Dead ahead! A sail!" I ran, my glass in hand, forward to the rail. Again, Bertie yelled, "A merchant ship, and full, no doubt, riding low in the water. She's square rigged, just like the Shark, but she's built with 3 masts on her." I ran my glass upon her and saw the flag of Spain. Chris came to my side just then as Hammer took the helm. A lovely craft was she, so stately in the water. Snell would know what type she be, but for sure was no marauder. Too slow. Why, she could only go 3 knots, maybe 4. "Another sail!" came from the crow. I raised my glass once more, but the big ship covered up the sea. I had no view beyond her prow, and with but 10 guns on the Hermosa Villa, it was useless anyhow. But Chris, he was of a different mind. "Hammer, bring us close behind. Jose, Salvio, on those guns. Bertie, I need to know which way she runs, to her port or starboard side." We caught up with that lumbering giant, sailed just outside her wake. She sailed on, so compliant, I thought 'twas a big mistake. "Starboard, Cap! I see the mast!" "Guns support!" cried Chris. "Helmsman, bring her starboard, fast! Gunners, don't you miss!" The pirate craft was getting set to board the towering merchant, but when our caravel came round her stern, they found us far more urgent. 5 cannon roared without return. Then we turned and came back starboard. She was cut in half at the waterline, as again our cannon roared. Those on board the Merchant Beauty fought off pirates at their rail, and we 15, as was our duty, pulled some to the caravel. One by one, with guns upon her, pulled 'em up and tied 'em tight. Could have let the water drown 'em, but we figured it wasn't right. Those pirates, greed had made them unaware, just like Goliath. So completely were they unprepared. Size don't really make a giant, and that's what that disappearing Xebec taught me that Sunday morning on the sea. Chapter 63. She just fired a cannon! The merchant ship lowered a dinghy, sent over an envoy from their cap, invited us, Chris, Penn, Cott, and me, to have some drinks and of course a chat. Their crew gave us a fine reception. The ship they sailed was called the Flute, prize of war in a Dutch dispute. They were headed in our same direction, so we offered them a partway escort. We were transferring pirate scum from the caravel to the bigger one, when again from their crow came a disturbing shout. "Sail, Cap! East northeast! Doing 4, maybe 5 knots at least!" And straight toward us, where there's no doubt, only 2, maybe 3 miles out. Once again we braced for the oncoming battle. Children, we rushed to the hold, just like cattle. We pulled our craft to the starboard of the Flute. But some ladies demanded to be new recruits. Of course, we couldn't see what was going on portside, kept asking Bertie to give a report. "A 2-masted gunship with flag of Spain waving. I see smoke. She just fired a cannon." We saw ahead where the ball hit the brine. We stood at the rails, fearing the worst. From the Flute's crow, "A dory set forth!" The Flute turned into the path of the oncoming craft. Then we heard the ship's bells chime, and chime, and chime, and chime. Bertie, with glass, whistled at last and yelled, "Cap! Boys, it's the Shark!" Chapter 64. Do tears really have a purpose? It was time for celebration. All were safe and sound. Tears of joy and thankfulness hugging all around. Aunt Harmy cried when up the ladder and o'er the side I came, bursting with emotion. And Brother Lime, when I looked at him, he was also crying. So did I, like floodgates had just opened. And then came Miss Roseanna Lynn, tears dripping from her chin. She wrapped her arms around me. I thought you were gone, my precious one. Oh, she stirred me up within. She said she'd been filled with dread, told me how she missed me, and then she really kissed me, said she'd never leave me again. I suppose, but then who knows? Do tears really have a purpose? Seems like when you hear good news or bad, tears begin to surface. So there we were, the four of us, eyes floating in water. I do know this, that with that kiss, cry or no didn't matter. Aunt Harmy, speaking once again, broke the spell within my brain. It was frightful on the shark. Wind blew up, Morgan. Sky got dark. The way we were tossed, somehow our paths must have crossed. And yesterday, when you couldn't be found, still we searched all around, but we thought sure you were lost. This morning when we heard the cannon, hope renewed, but with trepidation. All the what-ifs come and fill your head. What if they've been killed by pirates? What if we're just late by minutes? What if they drowned? What if their ship went down? What if it isn't even them? What then? Aunt Harmy, I said, thinking of Mulray. The Lord's our shepherd, Aunt Harmy, even in death's shadowy valley. Cap Willum asked the merchant cap to join us with some crew. He accepted with a 6-man staff, and 3 musicians, too. Perhaps a wee too much libation between the crew and the 8 ladies, but all in all was just good fun, though maybe somewhat crazy. Even Figgin's face expressed outward pleasure, rarely seen. Chris retold the Zebek tale o'er and o'er again, and every time he told it, well, Figgin said, "Good man." We ate and drank and sang and danced, till the merchant cap and crew, they left us then and went their way. A signal for us, too. Penn chose 3 men to ferry us back o'er to the caravel. We, 15 crew, children, ladies, plus Roseanna Lynn as well. Chapter 65. Yes, sir, Mr. Morgan. Shark sailed into Gandia with the caravel behind. The 2 old gents were feeling fair, though Jenny's dad was half blind. I guess that gash in his forehead was more than just a scratch, but he was stitched up and put to bed under Doc and Harmy's watch. All my little Jonahs around me joined, hugged me, squeezed me tight. I gave each of them a silver coin to recall that stormy night. I looked down real serious like at every one of them. Now when you're scared or stuff like that, this coin is not to spend. Just keep it in your pocket and hold it in your fist. Think of Psalm 23 and say, God takes real good care of me, just like Jonah in that fish. And right back at me came, yes, sir, Mr. Morgan. So we said goodbye to the ladies. Then it's back out on the water. And I was, through that night at least, maybe 2 feet taller. Chapter 66. Henriette. The merchant ship had long since gone, headed for Gibraltar. The Shark was traveling all alone, no others to encumber. We set for Captain Willum's pledge, a course straight for Malaga, to give Joe's widow Henriette the money that we owed her. 'Twas with remorse, and she cried, of course, when we told her of his passing. But he stood tall amongst us all, Cap told this lovely lassie. Evening sun was losing light when she made a strange request. Asked, "May I stay on the Shark tonight?" Cap, of course, said yes. She greeted the crew, some which she knew. Old Figgins she knew well. She stopped and talked with Roseanna Lynn. She said, "I heard what you had to say of him. Thank you, miss, for what you shared. Good to know that you all cared." And then she met with Snell. "So good to see you, my dear friend. 'Twas you, Willum, and Joe unto the end. 27 years at sea, and now he's gone, left me a widow. Snell, have you children to support? Have you a sweetheart in some port? 6 months' time you may come see me. I'll be watching from my window." I heard this conversation full, and not told a single soul. She was honest, straight, and beautiful, and no respect to Joe. She made her bed where Joe slept, curled up on his cot, and at dawn walked every inch of deck, and then bid me to see her off.